Hello and welcome to the Clarence Tom Show, where today we'll be reviewing Christopher Nolan's shambolic final instalment to the Batman series, The Dark Knight Rises, starring Christian Bale as a superhero plagued with motor neuron disease. So, Clarence, what did you think of The Dark Knight Rises?
Well, personally, Tom, I thought it was poorly written and unintentionally comedic, with a ridiculous plot that had more holes than John Holmes.
That's an interesting comparison, Clarence. But seriously, how can you be so negative about a film that so many people regard as a modern classic? Are they all wrong?
Yes, Tom. It's a sad fact that most people who watch films nowadays tend to be young boys who play Xbox games, where action, scale and coolness trump the more substantive elements of creative dialogue and clever plotting.
What was wrong with the plot? It made perfect sense.
Did it, Tom? Did it?
Yes, of course it did. I think. Actually, I don't know. Did it make sense?
No, Tom!
It didn't! For a start, the bad guy's plan is logically incoherent.
Now you're using words I don't understand. Explain yourself, puppet.
Well, essentially, you have Bane and his mistress who want to destroy Gotham because the city is evil and corrupt. But since the death of Harvey Dent in episode 2, the city is no longer evil and corrupt. Therefore, invalidating their primary reason to destroy it.
Hang on, Clarence. That makes way too much sense. There must be a reason why they still want to destroy Gotham.
Not really, Tom. Even if you were to argue that they were simply following the footsteps of the legacy left by Liam Neeson's character in the first film, the fundamental underlying reason for carrying out the world's worst act of terrorism is totally unjustified.
Maybe the bad guys are just confused.
Either that or stupid. There's one point in the film where they have the perfect opportunity to go ahead and nuke Gotham there and then. But instead, they decide to occupy the city for several months, doing absolutely nothing.
Ah, but they did that to create chaos and confusion.
Yes, exactly the sort of thing that no longer existed in Gotham. Don't you see the point I'm trying to make? They wanted to destroy the city because they hated evil, but the city was not evil, so they had to make it evil again in order to justify blowing it up.
I see what you're getting at.
There are lots of other stupid things about the film too.
Such as?
Such as the fact that when the police find out Bane is living in the sewers, they send every cop down there to apprehend him. Then when Bane blows up the exits, they all manage to survive down there for months, despite having little access to food and water. Not even I'd be able to survive that, Tom. And I'm not even alive!
Yeah, okay, maybe that was a little bit far-fetched.
Not as far-fetched as being able to cure a broken back with sit-ups, or a shattered knee joint with a magic belt.
Well, I couldn't possibly comment on that. I'm not medically trained.
Tom, you don't need to be medically trained to realise a magic belt is a bullshit plot device.
Okay, what about the acting? Was it any good?
It was no more than solid, but with a talent on board, he couldn't really go wrong.
Who was the girl who played Catwoman? I liked her.
I can't remember who it was, Tom, but the only scene of hers I remember is the one where she was on the motorbike sticking her ass out.
Yes, that was probably my favourite scene.
It was probably everyone's favourite scene, Tom.
Then let us take a moment to reflect upon it. So Clarence, given the fact that you obviously hate this movie, what would you give it out of 5?
Tom, I would give The Dark Knight Rises 2 out of 5. The acting and technical aspects were solid, but the script was badly thought out, and the whole thing felt too rushed. If they'd have taken more time perfecting the story, rather than choreographing the set pieces, it would have been much better.
So there we have it. Join us next time on the Clarence and Tom Show for more cutting remarks aimed at decent movies, points of view that are logically dubious, and me helping him get over his long-standing problem with constipation. We don't say goodbye on the Clarence and Tom Show, we say good journey.